Larry, you are actually politically a true liberal in the sense of the JFK liberal era. That's what you are. You're a true liberal. I have a friend in San Francisco, one of the top antitrust attorneys in the world. I could mention his name, but I won't. You'll know the name immediately. A liberal. His whole family. His father was the mayor of San Francisco. You'll know who I'm talking about.
All right.
You probably know him.
I know. I knew the mayor.
A true liberal. He hates progressives. He said they're the violent fascists of our time. He loves my show. He said all the liberals in this city who are real liberals love your show because you use logic to present your ideas. We may not agree with you at the end, but at least we learn because you're presenting your ideas with facts to back them up. Now, that's true liberalism. Very few of you are left, Larry.
How about very few moderate Republicans, too, right?
I'm not a moderate Republican.
I know there are no moderate Republicans.
I'm not a Republican, Larry. Please don't insult me.
What are you?
Groucho Marx said, I would never join a club that would have me as a member. That's number one. I don't like Republicans. I don't like their check pants. I don't like their golf club mentality, the country club mentality. That's not me. I'm an independent is what I am. And my position is I'm a great animal rights supporter. What does that make me? Save the whales. I had a whole show on stopping the killing of whales.
What do you?
I'm a strong conservationist going back 40 years. What does that make me?
So then,
you can't define it.
Do you at least agree with 97% of the scientists that we have climate change caused by carbon dioxide?
No, totally wrong. They have it upside down. Carbon dioxide is a product of climate change. I've studied the data. I have a PhD in hard sciences. No, they're wrong.
97% of scientists are all lying.
I'll tell you what. I'll close the show by telling you what I told Donald Trump as I left the dessert with him in Mar-a-Lago. I said, here's the sum total of the argument on global warming. Mr. President, we had 5 ice ages that came and went. What made the ice melt? This was before industrialization. His face lit up. He said, thank you. I got it. Larry, it's simple. It's 5th grade logic, but it's irrefutable. So 5 ice ages, the Earth is covered with ice, then it disappears. Why? It wasn't the Model T Ford that did it.
97% of scientists are wrong.
Yes, they're government scientists.
Michael Savage is right.
Larry, come on. They receive government funding. They're funded through the NIH. They're funded through all of this NSF. If they don't conform to the government line, they don't get funding, Larry. I know it very well as a former scientist. I know how this works. You're going to see changes soon when the other side is allowed to present its evidence.
Why? The other side presents its evidence. They present their evidence.
No,
there's
no, they are not funded at all. They're not allowed to be funded.
Scientists.
They will not. Larry, I know the scientists. If you look into it, they do not fund any research that supports any position other than the one they want the results of.
So you're saying that you are pro carbon dioxide?
You keep bringing it up, Larry. When you grew up, you want to talk about carbon dioxide? Without carbon dioxide, we'd have no plant life.
Well, we learn a
carbon
lot.
dioxide. Larry, carbon dioxide is actually good. It gave us the Carboniferous period in geological history, which allowed the Earth to have plants bloom and food to grow. Without carbon dioxide, we'd all starve to death. So, I mean, let's be realistic. Carbon dioxide is like saying Russians are bad. Carbon dioxide's bad. Larry, we got to put these things in context. It's not the carbon dioxide that is causing the slight warming. It is the fact that there's a slight warming that is producing the extra carbon dioxide. Look into that side of it. It's an alternate view of things. You got to look at that and see if it's wrong.
So I'm glad that Michael Savage today, here on Larry King Now, proves that 97% of scientists are wrong and he is right.
That's right. And if Donald Trump hires me, I'll straighten out the science in this country and make it real science again. Not the political science that we have today, where these scientists do what the government wants them to say. By the way, I'll go wherever the evidence leads. That's science. When you hear a statement like this, Larry, you know it's not scientific. The evidence is in. The evidence is in. Everyone agrees that global warming is caused by man's horrible behavior. The first rule of science is that, no, all the evidence is not in. The minute you say it is in, it's no longer a scientific statement. Science is based upon evidence that keeps emerging, and evidence keeps emerging.
Michael, I'll make you a scientific statement that is a fact.
Go ahead.
The world is round.
Okay.
For hundreds of years and hundreds of years, the world was flat. If Michael Savage was on the air
maybe
in
to your ancestors,
BC, it's flat.
Not to my ancestors. We always knew it was round. Maybe in your part of the world you thought it was square. None of us did.
Michael, certain scientific fact. You accept Darwin?
Of course, I'm a great student of Darwin.
A lot of people don't agree with it.
But I don't agree with them.
Okay. Trump doesn't agree with Darwin.
But Larry, Darwin's results were based upon the evidence that he found as an independent scientist poking around in the Galapagos and elsewhere.
Right.
Today's science is not run like that, Larry. It's run off government grants. And unless you write a proposal of what your grant is going to, what your study is going to look like, they want the results in advance of your proposal. And unless they see the results written into the proposal between the lines, you're not getting the money, Larry. Big science is corrupt today, Larry.
So all the countries that signed that treaty about global warming, they're all wrong.
Larry, let's put this in context. We all want a cleaner earth. And nobody has worked longer and harder than I have to save the earth. Going back to 1975 when I published my first book on this subject called Plant a Tree. Larry, I have a long record of keeping the earth as pristine as we can and protecting animals. But I don't want to go along with the program just because that's what the government wants.
Michael, I love you. I love having you on. The book is Trump's War, His Battle for America. Michael Savage, great having you with us.